I'm Audrey Van Riper, and I live in Lafayette Hill.
And I'm Jean Elliott, and I live in Lafayette Hill too, not far from Audrey. And I've worked for the Presbyterian Church USA most of my career. First as a mission teacher, and then I worked here at this church. And my last job was working across the country and helping churches do capital campaigns. And now I am retired, which I enjoy.
I worked at a school for 20-some years. I'm also retired.
We came to a fair, opportunity fair, I think, here at the church.
Called, yeah.
With community organizations, had different booths, and we went to the one on Meals on Wheels and talked to and I think it was Lynn actually, that our director who had the booth, and we talked to her about it, and she said, well, come over and we'll talk. So we did, and that's been over 2 years now. Audrey thought the best route we could take would be Bethlehem Village, because it was a one-stop situation, and all we had to do was go from floor to floor. We didn't have to find...
On an elevator.
In an elevator. We didn't have to do a lot of parking and walking up and down stairs. Bethlehem Village, didn't even know of its existence.
I didn't
Did you,
either.
Audrey?
No.
It's a retirement community. One of the clients that we serve is a very nice man, and he always looks forward. We give them a bag lunch, and the children in one of the schools draw on the bag sometimes, and he loves a bag lunch with a drawing because he cuts it out and puts it on his wall in the kitchen, which I think is really so sweet that, that
Right.
means a lot to him to have these kids do the bags.
And you can't even tell what the drawing is.
No, but
I mean,
he
it
loves
doesn't signify anything in
Yeah.
particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's because some of them, I think, are kindergartners and first graders, so I
Right.
mean, they're not artistically inclined, but just he's got the ball
Yeah.
up.
There was one woman who we never saw her in anything but a nightgown, so we called her Miss Nightgown. And there was another woman who wore an apron. Well, you don't see women wear aprons today, and we called her Miss Apron. But mostly it's the clients. All of them are really nice people.
And they all seem to be so happy there. I mean, they can't.
Content.
Yeah, they can't say enough about it. I mean,
Yeah.
and some of them have been there since it opened, which is what, 15, 16 years. And
They're very content. One day we went to George, who's on the first floor, knocked on the door, and we usually then just walk in. The door's unlocked. George had 2 rooms, and I opened the door, and I hear this voice saying, "Help, help," and I'm thinking, oh dear. And I walked back, and sure enough, there was George on the floor. And he had a chair on his head, a chair like this. I said, "George, what happened?" Well, of course, he probably had a stroke. So Audrey said right away, "Jean, don't touch him. I'm going to go get help." So she immediately went down to the nun downstairs. Well, we were on the first floor.
right.
And so here comes the nun, Audrey, and the maintenance man. And I'm thinking, well, I guess they're going to lift George. In the meantime, George had awakened from whatever happened to him. And I was talking to him. I said, "George, the first thing I'm going to do is get the chair off your head," which, of course, I did. But it turns out George did have a stroke. And from there, he went over to the villa. So,
And he's still there.
and
as
he's
far-
still there. He's still living. So we were just so glad that we had a chance, because otherwise they wouldn't probably have found him till the next day.
They have this system where they have sort of a card that has initials on it, and they hang this outside their door. And someone comes around and checks this. And if the card is out there and turned the right way, they go.
They know it's all right.
They know it's okay. So, I mean, his was out there.
Right.
So we don't know when anybody would have come back, if they would have come back even that day anymore.
Yeah. So we feel, it was providential that we had an opportunity to help in a small way. I guess the funniest story that happened was early on. and I hesitate to say it, but it is funny. One day it was pouring rain, and I said to Audrey, let's just park here because we had to carry this stuff. We parked in front of the no parking sign, and we came out, and I said to Audrey, Audrey, I have a parking ticket. I said, those nuns know we're Presbyterians. And of course, what happened was we found out later, we took the ticket back to the Meals on Wheels office, and Lynn, who was so sweet, said, well, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it.
I think it gives you a chance to see how other people live who don't have an immediate family, say, to move in with, and how happy these people are there. You usually think of people, you know, in these homes that are not very happy about the fact that they're there. And these people all seem so happy and can't say enough about this place.
And I think it helps you kind of feel you're helping somebody else. The reason these folks get Meals on Wheels is they don't have access to a car to get the food at the store. Even though they have little kitchens there, they can't get the food to cook. And most of them are too old really to
have given up
worry
driving.
about that.
This place does not have a cafeteria
or a dining room
or anything like that. So they're on their own for getting their meals.
The thing I like about Meals on Wheels is, one of the things I like is the director, Lynn.
Yeah, she's great.
She is a wonderful person. And she really, I think, is one of the motivators. And when she's there and we come back, she's so excited, wants to hear what happened. She really does a beautiful job.
They don't seem to have trouble getting volunteers to do the place that we do, because little kids enjoy going with their mother over to Bethlehem Village.
Right.
So, I mean, the people there are so friendly, but I think all the people are, even the people that we met the first day that we went.
Our orientation.
Yeah,
that's true. We would encourage anybody who likes one day a week for a couple of hours.
Right.
That's all it is. And it's a very worthwhile project. It's fun.